Even though it's not the law, you need to carry bodily injury car insurance. And here to tell us why is Catherine Stone from Barbas Law. How many times do I tell you, Catherine, car insurance is always over my head, but I know this is an important one, but I didn't know how important until now.
Well, I think one of the first segments we did was I said everyone needs to stop and sit down and review your auto insurance policy.
I remember that.
In addition to other policies that we've discussed over the past couple of years. But one really significant thing is to drive and own a vehicle in the state of Florida. You're only required to have what we call personal injury protection, which protects you for the first $10,000 in any medical benefits for any injuries you may sustain, whether it's your fault or someone else's fault. And then property damage. Up to $10,000 of you causing damage to someone else's property, whether it's a wall, whether it's a building, whether it's another person's vehicle. That's just to drive and own a vehicle. You are not required in the state of Florida to drive and own a vehicle to require bodily injury, which means you have insurance to cover if you cause someone else to have personal injuries.
Their medical bills.
Their medical bills, correct. However, there is a somewhat little known statute in the state of Florida that we're starting to see more and more clients coming to us with this issue, is that if you're involved in an auto crash, whether it's your fault or not, and you did not carry bodily injury insurance, even though you're not required to, the state of Florida could suspend your driver's license. And you have a couple of different options. You can get a release of liability from the other person involved in the accident.
Okay.
Even if they didn't have any injuries, you still would need to get a release from them. Or if they did, getting a release, a signed consent release from them. Or you have to post a bond up to $10,000.
So you're talking about something that is not mandatory to carry, but if you don't carry it, oh, by the way.
And you're involved in a crash.
Wow.
Again, whether it's your fault or not.
You're still looking at that harsher punishment.
Correct. Or you would have to be, if you cannot post the bond, because there's certainly requirements to be able to post a bond.
Okay.
You may have to go out and obtain bodily injury coverage through a separate insurance policy.
Because it be post.
I believe it's a minimum of 3 years, and it's very expensive.
Wow. So is this something that you're going to see that eventually the legislation will change it and make this mandatory, or is this something we're just going to see?
I think what, and there's a lot of articles out there. There's a lot of controversy. It's always brought up in the state legislature. There is a big push to get rid of PIP in Florida, personal injury protection. There's a huge push to get rid of that. And I think then require the bodily injury so that if you cause someone else to have injuries, that coverage is there. But we're starting to see the DMV enact this more than maybe we have in the past couple of years.
So people need to take note and check out those policies.
Check your policies.
Okay, that's very important, especially going into the new year here.
Correct.
Well, happy New Year's.
Thank you.
I know last time we talked about, again, don't drink and drive, because
because Hillsborough County, the last statistic that I looked at, had the highest number of DUIs in the state of Florida. And we outsurpassed Miami by like 1,000 to 1,200 DUIs.
Wow. So don't drink and drive. Check those auto insurance policies so then your 2018 is off to a good start. Now, if you do have questions, though, of course, you can contact Catherine at any time, her and her team, 800 Barbas Law, or go to barbaslaw.com/knowyourrights.